They'll be going at it once they both get on the floor here in just a little bit. And we are underway here in Gallagher Drive Arena. Colorado wins the tip. Whiting, a very good on-ball defender. Holding up Walker there, forcing him to pass it back out. 10 seconds to shoot. Masagayo with the finish.
Well, good offensive possession right there. Masagayo, one of 2 returners in the rotation for J.R. Payne. Good, solid player for Colorado.
She was preseason All-Big 12, honorable mention last year. As we take a look at the Cowgirls starting 5 there. And an early foul on Staley Hurd, who's coming off of one of her better games of the year. Didn't shoot it well from 3, but was really good inside the arc.
Yeah, good to have Staley Hurd with some offensive production at a high level at TCU.
There's the Colorado starting 5. Kennedy Sanders, who was the starting point guard for much of the beginning of the year, has been out. Hasn't played since December 14th against Miami, Ohio. That ball will stay with Colorado. So McErlane in the starting lineup in her stead. And it sounded like Coach Payne, we saw some positives from McErlane early on. She had a 7-assist game just a few games ago.
Well, you get ball security and doesn't really look to score much, but facilitates and makes good plays. I'll tell you an impressive stat about McErlane: only 3 turnovers in conference play.
Tough look there with the shot clock getting ready to expire. It's out of bounds untouched. The Cowgirls will get it.
Yeah, Oklahoma State had talked about coming into this afternoon's game, Adam, about pressuring out front, but making sure you contain. Colorado labors to score in the half court at times.
Right in front of the rim, an easy look that time for Achola Kopp.
Well, Kopp's versatility has been on display all season long for J.C. Hort. TCU did a good job on Akot, only 3 points on Wednesday.
In and out that time for Logan Greer. Cowgirls with a chance to take their first lead of the game. Whiting right to the rim and was fouled. She almost got fouled by Haley Timmer. They ended up in the same spot. Walker's the one that picks it up. Let's take a look at what's important in this game for the Cowgirls, Brendan.
Yeah, defensive glass. Colorado, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the Big 12 Conference, especially that 3 through 5 position. Oklahoma State likes to run, but if you're going to run, you've got to be able to clear the boards first and then force help on offense, much like Whiting did right there in that possession. After ball movement, Oklahoma State's got to look to drive and create and force help. Look, OSU shoots it great from 3. But defenses in the Big 12 are much better. How can you get good looks from 3? It's ball movement, attack, draw help, and kick. Colorado, though, very good defensively in the half court, so that'll be a tough assignment for Oklahoma State today.
We have our first appearance of a Wooten as Jaden is in for Oklahoma State and gets the steal. Inside, it's slapped away from Akot. And hiked out of bounds. It'll go over to Colorado. Brendan Mender, what's important for Colorado in this game?
Well, for J.R. Payne, who I can't believe this is her 10th season in Boulder. They're consistently good, and one of the reasons is they can get you in the half court. Important to get Oklahoma State in the half court today, much like they did with Baylor. And then the second thing, Adam, that's really important, we talked about offensively, they labor in the half court at times. You have to manufacture points. And obviously, something that would be huge today would be for Colorado to knock down some jumpers, make a couple threes. But you have to create other opportunities, either by turning Oklahoma State over and getting out in transition. And then the other side of it is what they do best, right? We just talked about they're very good on the offensive glass. If they can get to the offensive glass today, they'll put themselves in position to win on the road.
Underneath, looking for a cut, but the pass is off the mark, deflected apparently by Colorado, although Desiree Wooten would like that to be reviewed. I don't think she's going to get her wish. Timmer in, Whiting out here for Oklahoma State.
Well, you can see how active Colorado is defensively in the half court. I mean, even if you think you have an opportunity, they recover and get rematched up very, very well.
Wooten had it slip out of her hands, it looked like. Now here's Desiree Wooten for Colorado. It'll stay with Colorado.
Oklahoma State already with multiple possessions with turnovers. Been a little bit careless with the basketball. They've been fortunate so far not to allow Colorado opportunity to score off those turnovers. Here's one of them. Yeah, I think the officiating crew is going to go into review right here.
It is an official challenge from J.C. Hoyt in Oklahoma State. So we'll take a break here. Early challenge to see who's going to have possession of this basketball. Slow start for both teams so far. Well, after a review on the floor, the call on the floor was upheld. As we take a look back here, it looks like Wooten definitely affects the course of the ball, but couldn't maybe tell whether or not Micah Gray got a finger on it as well.
Wooten obviously poked that ball towards out of bounds, but you couldn't tell whether Gray touched it or not because the call was off Oklahoma State to begin with. I think that's the right choice by the officiating crew.
Underneath, Dutas able to get her first 2 points of the game. The senior out of Cesson, France.
Yeah, good executed play out of the timeout right there from Colorado. Dutas, tell you what, one of the best rebounders in the Big 12 Conference. And when she can get it down low in those situations, an angle like that possession, she's usually pretty good at converting.
You were talking about not only rebounding, but offensive rebounds so big for this Colorado team. She's top 30 in the country, leads the Big 12 with almost 4 offensive rebounds per game.
We'll have 5 in Waco midweek, 7 against Arizona a couple of games ago. I mean, 7.
Oklahoma State has just turned it over for the 5th time already today.
Well, shots are not going to come easy, sorry, in the half court against Colorado. If you're stagnant offensively, you really have to move the ball, and you have to cut and execute your offense crisply, or you will not get easy looks.
There's a tip back from Benson to keep the possession alive for the Buffaloes. Through the hands offensive bets in that time and out of bounds. A little hot on the pass from Wooten. Oklahoma State, Brennan, has only actually attempted 1 field goal so far in the game. We're almost 4 minutes in. They're 1 for 1 and then 2 for 2 at the foul line, but the turnovers obviously have been an issue. Wooten in and out from the mid-range. Her field goal attempt numbers have been up. She's shooting the ball a lot more.
Well, and teams are trying to take away her ability to set up teammates, particularly on the pass. So it's not like they're just giving up that mid-range and completely conceding it, but you would much rather keep her in front and contest a 12 to 15-foot jumper versus allow her to get past your initial line of defense, and then her vision is so elite. Right there. Length of Logan Greer, who's been an outstanding freshman for Colorado this season.
Wooten takes it away from Wooten, and now the Buffs on the run. An easy lay-in for 2, 6-4 Colorado.
Yeah, if you keep turning it over, eventually Colorado is going to be able to convert that defense into offense.
Here's Igorevba. Back to Wooten. Mid-range jumper. Off the mark. Dutas with the rebound.
You see right there, even when Wooten drove the ball getting run off the three-point line, the great rotation defensively over from Colorado and contest.
It's a couple of times Colorado has tried to go inside to Tabitha Betson and just hasn't been able to make the connection.
Well, Colorado, they'll throw it in there some, but it's not necessarily a consistent thing where they have somebody with their back to the basket that can hurt you possession after possession. But against Oklahoma State is not big at that 5 position with a Cott and Igorevba. So they feel like they can throw it in there and potentially make something happen. Get it that paint touch and get it to the heart of Oklahoma State's defense.
5 seconds to shoot for Oklahoma State. Hurd able to get to the glass and finish. That's something that Oklahoma State hasn't seen as much of that kind of aggression from Staley Hurd this year, but they did in their last time out.
Well, she at TCU looked like the old Staley Hurd in terms of enforcing and imposing her will on that offensive end.
There's Desiree Wooten with a mid-range finish. Jaden Wooten turning the corner. Timmer on the drive. And a blocking foul.
Now here's that last possession from Oklahoma State. Look at Hurd right there. I mean, that is classic Staley Hurd. Strong drive, can go either direction. That's the offhand with the left. Absorbs contact and then finishes. And if you've watched her, just quite honestly, the last handful of games just hasn't been aggressive, almost hesitant. But not at TCU and not on that play right there.
Ended up shooting 7 of 9 from inside the arc at TCU. 2 for 10 from 3. Some of those were late game situation threes that needed to go up late, but that's got to be an encouraging sign for this coaching staff.
No doubt, and also part of it was how TCU was defending and switching all 5 positions. But I tell you what, you get Staley Hurd to be just a glimmer of who she is. I mean, that Oklahoma State team makes a jump. And that's good news because they're already a nice ball club. They're much more than her, but she's an elite talent and a proven talent.
Well, and she also brings something a little bit different in that the guards as a whole are so talented shooting the basketball, but she can go and create her own shot, which is something that not everybody on this Oklahoma State squad can do.
Yeah, and so you're right. Good point. And then if you have a Wooten and a Hurd, well, you can hand it to them and they can go make plays. Because you get in games like we have right now, Adam. You get in these grinders that are possession by possession in the Big 12 Conference.
Staley Hurd had jumped in for that ball, but just beforehand, a foul on Praise Igorevba, her first personal. Just the second team foul. Colorado with 4 as a team.
So if you'll notice, watching this, I mean, there is no flow. And that is the way Colorado would like it to continue to be today. Keep Oklahoma State out of rhythm offensively. Put them on defense here, make them work.
Walker left it short, a caught with the board. Cowgirls want to run. And this is how you can establish some of that rhythm as you can get out in transition. Inside, kick out, Micah Gray. Too strong, but that's the first three-point attempt of the game for Oklahoma State. Now we have a tie ball possession. We'll keep it with Oklahoma State. But what does Colorado do to run them off the line? Because that's a long time.
You know, that possession right there was good offense by Oklahoma State. Whiting was able to turn the corner a bit. You know, Cott, who we've seen be able to catch in traffic. And then Colorado, as we see with them, they really rotate. Now watch Whiting right here. Good roll. See the rotation, the help. But what does that do? That leaves a shooter wide open. And that's a good offensive possession for Oklahoma State, inside out, if you will. They just didn't get it to go.
6 to shoot for the Cowgirls. Timmer on the roll to a Cott. She kicked it out. Shot clock buzzer sounds. Good defensive possession for Colorado.
Yeah, just really, really sound. Protecting inside out. And you're always concerned with Oklahoma State when you play them, their ability to shoot the three from multiple positions. But if you're a good sound defense that can recover, you can still work inside out and get to shoot.
Colorado looking for a bucket. 4 for 8 as a team in the game, which is well above their normal shooting percentage. Follow-away is out of bounds, untouched. Oklahoma State basketball.
Yeah, we talked about Colorado defensively. Oklahoma State's been pretty good. Last 2 or 3 possessions, better than good. Great containment out front. Good contest, limiting Colorado to just 1 shot.
Cowgirls just 2 for 6 from the field with 7 turnovers here in this first quarter. Hurd, a little hesitation. Drives it instead. Couldn't get the fall away off the spin, but 2 Cowgirls there for the offensive rebound. Cott, double team. Timmer wide open. Too strong. Deflected down. Cowgirls have it. It's 5 on 4 at the moment. Timmer's shot is blocked out of bounds, but a foul call.
What's a physical battle out there right now? Well, Colorado just won't give in, but Oklahoma State a good job continuing to attack. That's the second time Timmer today, Adam, has driven it with strength. Obviously, her bread and butter is she's an elite spot-up three-point shooter, 47% on the season. And so the book is out, obviously, on her. But if she can do that every once in a while, she gets ran off the line, just drive it hard to contact, she'll benefit from that. That, in turn, will set up that three-point shot at another portion of the game.
And you wonder if maybe Timmer is starting to adjust some to the physicality of the Big 12 as well, because she played for some very good teams at South Dakota State, but the Summit League is a very skills-based league, and she's maybe having to adjust to some of that physicality.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's a great point. I mean, it's definitely different. You're going to be defended different. And she's also has more freedom here at Oklahoma State than she had in her previous stop. I mean, they want her to have the green light, particularly from long range.
Inside, an open look and a finish for Ariana Gooden. Another freshman making an impact for Colorado.
And that was a great cut because Colorado had bogged down offensively, and Gooden made just a sharp cut, was strong with the ball.
That is the 8th turnover of the quarter for Oklahoma State, a team that usually protects the ball pretty well. It's deflected out of bounds from Whiting. It'll stay with Colorado.
We talked about Colorado needing to manufacture buckets, right? This is what we're talking about. You see the pressure right there on Crook. Watch this flash. Timmer loses sight. That's really good from the freshman right there.
Colorado a chance to take a lead with less than a minute left in the first quarter. Not a lot of teams have had that opportunity against the Cowgirls at home this season. 6 seconds to shoot. That's an air ball out of bounds. Oklahoma State with another strong defensive possession. We talked about the Cowgirls turning it over. They've also forced 5, so it's not as if Colorado hasn't turned it over some in this first quarter either.
Well, Oklahoma State has, matched the toughness, certainly, of Colorado. Oklahoma State's been good defensively as well. If you're the Cowgirls, at this point, you're talking about you got to take care of the basketball and wait for that little run offensively where we can get some separation.
Micah Gray, quick pause. She's got some blood on her finger, so they'll take care of that. You notice the mask there. Broke her nose in practice yesterday, so she'll be the masked ranger for a little while here for Oklahoma State. But good of a shooter as she is, I would imagine it probably won't affect her too much. Yeah,
there's a little getting used to that mask for sure.
Did you ever have to wear one?
I did. I broke my nose twice in high school. Now they weren't as light 30 years ago as they are now. Much better, but no, it takes a little bit of adjustment. But she's a veteran player. She's tough. And you can tell. I mean, it's not affecting her, at least from what we can tell.
Oklahoma State has only taken 2 3-point attempts. They're 14th in the country and first in the Big 12 in how many threes they get up per game. So Colorado's done a nice job of taking that part of the game away from the Cowgirls so far. There's Wooten for the elbow.
Now there's that mid-range game. But you see how Colorado played it. There's still a little bit of cushion. More important to keep her in front. But Wooten certainly can make those at a consistent level.
She's one of those players that starting over 3 is not going to phase her in any way, shape, or form. Very mentally tough point guard for Oklahoma State. Whiting nearly took it away, then dove for the ball, and she'll get called for the foul with just 6 seconds on the shot clock.
And that's just the 3rd foul on Oklahoma State. Whiting is really good at pressuring the ball. Gives great effort, understands angles, sliding her feet. But she's physical out there as well. Oklahoma State at times, when you throw Hurd and Whiting and obviously Wooten, Girardi when she's healthy, you have some pretty physical perimeter players out there.
7 to shoot for Colorado. The shot clock is off after the foul. Wooten has a shot blocked and rebounded by Hurd underneath to end the quarter. J.C. Hoyt fired up about her team's defense to close the first. And Oklahoma State with a slim lead after one. Toughness to this game held the Cowgirls to their lowest amount of points in a first quarter in any game all season. And now the Buffs lead on the 3 from Tabitha Betson.
Nice look, wide open look from Betson. Oklahoma State's turned it over 7 times and haven't gotten into offensive rhythm. But I am impressed with the way that they're playing. This is how you have to win in this league. It's just continuing to defend each and every possession.
It's an offensive foul against Achola Cott. Bucket won't count for Wooten.
Now here's Betson right there. One of those 2 returners for J.R. Payne. And I tell you what, you get 2 or 3 players anymore that are returning, and it is a premium. Betson just a sophomore.
Dutas able to get to the basket and finish through some contact.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first quarter. Dutas can get an angle. I mean, she's a lot stronger physically than she looks. I mean, she is kind of wiry and very clever down there.
Hurd regathers and lets it fly. It's on line and it's on target for Staley Hurd.
She's just playing without hesitation since that TCU game.
Betson back with it for Colorado. And the tie game again, and an offensive foul will give it back to Oklahoma State.
Well, Hurd just shooting 22% from long range on the year. Last year was 41% from that distance. You know, sometimes, you know, I don't know for a fact this is what happened, but sometimes as a player, you just push the reset button. But you know, all the whatever inconsistencies or when you're not yourself for a stretch, just put it behind you.
Hurd unable to turn the corner that time. Wooten fouled on the pull-up. Fouled by Desiree Wooten. That'll be her second personal, and Jaden will go to the line for the first time today. You know, you mentioned Betson being one of 2 returning players for Coach Payne, and certainly you want your talented players to return, but in this era of basketball, especially if you're a returning coach, so there's not coach turnover, is it maybe even more important to get people who you can trust and understand your system, because they're going to disperse that to your 11, 12 new players in any given year? It feels like that's maybe an undervalued part of that, having those players carry over.
Well, I mean, it's always been important. You know, Adam is your nucleus, and we can, don't have time in this broadcast, but there are a lot of coaches out there that that have been highly successful years and years and years, and it hasn't been their superstars. It's been that core group that understands this system and has experience. And so I think what you're alluding to, you have returners now. I mean, they really stand out, and you have to have somebody that can be an example or explain in the locker room, this is what Coach Payne means. This is what Coach Hoyt means. I've been here for a year or 2, etc. So yeah, it's extremely, extremely valuable and probably more important than ever. But Betson and Masagayo are 2 that really understand what Colorado basketball is about.
Drive and the finish for Masagayo. She's got 4.
Well, she did a great job. And that was in traffic on the roll. Is on the catch, just keeping that ball high. Because if she brings that down, it allows Oklahoma State to get their hands on it. But great finish right there amongst a lot of defensive bodies.
We mentioned early on how there wasn't a lot of rhythm to this game. That's really kind of continuing. Part of that is how many times have we seen Colorado take a shot with less than 7 seconds on the shot clock at this point? They're forcing the Cowgirls to do the same on the other end. There's an offensive foul against Praise Igorevba on the illegal screen. Her second personal. It's the Cowgirls' 9th turnover of the game.
Yeah, Colorado is forcing Oklahoma State. And it looked like Hurd was using her strength to turn the corner there, but they're forcing Oklahoma State, 1, to chew up clock in the half court in their offense, and then 2, force Oklahoma State into making individual plays offensively.
Timmer there on the catch. Now Walker on the drive. Tough finish off glass, but an offensive foul. Was that a Cott that stepped over and took the charge?
And here's Walker, has an angle on Whiting. See if a Cott gets set. Yeah, she's there. Good rotation. Tell you what, we've got a couple of teams defensively here today, Adam, that certainly looked apart.
It's now 16 turnovers forced combined. Colorado's still shooting 50% from the field. Cowgirls are up to 40%.
And in the midst of those turnovers, we have multiple on the offensive end.
Oh, that's a quick spin move for Achola Cott. Cowgirls back on top. And Aaron pass there. Turnover number 8 for Colorado. Hurd pitches to Timmer. A lot of defenders flying at her. A Cott called for the offensive foul. Make it 10 turnovers for Oklahoma State. And that's 2 fouls on a Cott as well.
Now let's look right here. The Cott's going to flash on the drive right there. Great job of showing. And the officials indicated that she came back with that right arm. Tough to tell there. Didn't look like a ton. A lot of times when the officials will come over the scorebook and make their call, that will indicate what it was. indication was that she elbowed the defender.
There's an errant pass out front. Trying to throw it to you and I over here at the scores table.
And so going back to the cot call, you know, if you're an Oklahoma State person, you're like, nothing happened. If you're a Colorado person, you're like, that's a good defensive play. But here's the thing. Colorado is always in good defensive position. And when you're in good legal guarding position with strength, you're going to get the benefit of the call. I think that's what happened right there.
Wooten from the elbow, off the mark left. Colorado with the board, and then saving it back in off of Staley Hurd. Gray and Greer checking in for each of their teams. Under 6 minutes to play here in the second.
Well, you can see Colorado's still comfortable with.
Wooten's coming off a game where she went 10 for 19, so you wouldn't think they'd want to dare her to shoot. Winding that time, using the speed to get by the defender. And a timeout called from Colorado as the Cowgirls go up 4. This is the largest lead of the game for Oklahoma State. It has been an absolute dogfight. Just a 2-possession game as we hit the midway mark of the second quarter.
Right? Then it is to knock shots and have your offense always be fluid. I mean, that has to be something that's consistent. I think you saw that against TCU midweek. I felt like Oklahoma State kind of made steps forward. You know, look in that game against TCU. Gray has 2 points. Lacotte has 3. Whiting has 2. Timmer has 6. Yet they had a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
Absolute mad dash at the moment after the Cowgirls nearly forced a couple of turnovers. They get the rebound off the miss.
And something we haven't talked about yet is Oklahoma State has been to the line 8 times. Colorado has yet to be there. Yep. And Colorado is typically the ball club that gets to the line and outscores you there.
Timmer on the drive. Too strong.
But I like that. It's a third strong drive right there from Timmer.
Tom turns the corner, lays it in.
Well, she's a really good player. Dutaw's really fluid, and she's so athletic at both ends of the floor. It was a smooth drive right there.
A lot of length in this Colorado squad. That's part of the reason they're top 5 in the Big 12 in forcing turnovers, but that time Whiting able to get to the rim.
And without hesitation. I mean, great shot fake, drive with strength. Whiting has played very well, in my opinion, at both ends of the floor here to start the game.
The Cowgirls can keep up the defensive effort. When Colorado hasn't turned the ball over, though, they've shot pretty well. They're still 50% from the field. Teams have combined for 20 turnovers, though. Right in front of the rim and a finish from Walker.
We talked about Colorado, and J.R. Payne would say this and has said this publicly. Well, they've struggled to score at times, but one thing that Walker has given them is consistent production.
Staley Hurd with another 3. She leads all scorers with 8. That is music to a lot of ears of Cowgirl fans. Here in Staley Hurd ripped the nets. Off the mark, but a foul called. It goes against Staley Hurd. I believe that's her second.
Well, this is what has made her great in her career. Ability to drive it, use that strong frame to get angles. We've seen that. Aggressive play here this afternoon, and then that. You know, spot up, wide open threes. This is Staley Hurd, and it makes it difficult. It changes the complete dynamics from a scouting report perspective. When Hurd's versatility becomes a problem.
She's also got a couple of rebounds here in the first half. Going out for now with 2 fouls. And as long as the Cowgirls stay in the lead, that may be the last we see her in the first half.
Yeah, you can see on her face, she doesn't like it. But it's the right decision right now.
One possession game again. Neither team is led by more than 5. Timmer out to Gray, deep 3.
That mask didn't affect her right there. Gray is a terrific spot-up shooter. When that ball finds her, she's got deep range, as you saw right there.
Cowgirls were 0 for 2 from 3 in the first quarter. They're 3 for 3 in the second quarter. And subsequently, they built their largest lead of the game at 6 points. Freshman on the drive, couldn't finish. It's out of bounds off of Oklahoma State. Tyler Hurd nearly had it rebounded.
Now here's Gray's 3. Always thought she's done such a good job of getting squared up when she takes that 3. A little bit adjustment. The pass wasn't perfect. Now, Gray only 2 points at TCU, but the previous 6, Adam, she'd averaged 20.
Inside to NIL Dutah. Just 10 a year a game, that is. She's already got 8 today. And it's 4 for 4 from the field. Highly efficient. Wooten had her pass deflected by Dutah, who seems to be everywhere on the floor today.
She's a really good two-way player. You know, that athleticism. And this isn't Colorado's entire team, but you watch Dutah defensively. I mean, she relishes that into the floor. I mean, even away from the ball right now, she is down ready to play defense.
Well, contested jumper off the mark. Nice job by Colorado.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, really small lineup right now. Essentially 5 guards. Essentially, they do have 5 guards in there. You see Colorado trying to attack the interior.
Pull-up jumper wouldn't go, and the rebound out of bounds off of the Buffs, so it'll be Oklahoma State basketball.
One of the things Colorado does well is they can switch everything. Obviously, they can switch 1 through 4. A lot of teams now in college basketball will do that. They can switch 1 through 5. We're seeing them do that right here with Oklahoma State.
Wooten on the pull-up, in and out. Under a minute to play. Colorado trying to make this a 1-possession game.
Yeah, I think that it was a 2-for-1 shot from Wooten. That's why you don't mind it being a little bit quick right there.
And frankly, that's one she makes a lot of the time. Wooten strips this one clean. The Cowgirls on the run. That's the 4th team foul on Colorado, so no free throws yet. It would have been a chance for Oklahoma State to go 2 for 1 a second time. Is that a thing? I don't think that's exactly how that works, but
okay.
That was certainly the intent the first time. It'll still be Oklahoma State ball. Wooten in the short corner. Gray pops out, open 3. That one's too strong. And the rebound taken in by Colorado. Gooden on the run. Decides to slow it up. Shot clock is off, and the Buffs have a chance to get within a possession at halftime here. Walker running the point.
Oklahoma State small right here. You have to get the defensive board. Colorado, good offensive rebounding team.
3 to shoot. Walker, tough angle. Couldn't get it to go. Whiting got the rebound. The Cowgirls lead by 4 at half in a hard-fought first 20 minutes. Neither team scored in the last. Cowgirls' largest lead was 6. Colorado is led by as many as 3. Neither team has been on more than a 5-0, Brendan, which is kind of wild. And there's an early knock away from Dutah, who is everywhere in the first half. She gets the run-through steal bucket, and Colorado starts off the half the right way.
Boy, use that link right there to time it with the run-through. Great job being up the floor. Again, that's defense away from the ball from Dutah. that I mentioned in the first half. Now watch this right here. Up the floor. Great defensive possession, anticipation. Yeah, I love the way she guards. Terrific on the ball, has versatility there, and then away from it. She is a textbook defender.
The team's leading scorer, actually the game's leading scorer with 10 points. Staley Hurd could match her, but instead kicks it out to Timmer. Timmer nearly too many steps. Hurd with the offensive rebound. Couldn't finish after the miss, but then another rebound for the Cowboys.
Well, in that possession, 2 within the offense and 1 on an offensive rebound. Staley Hurd touched it.
Whiting with 4 seconds to shoot. Little follow it. Short on that one as well. Utah picks up the board.
Yeah, you're not going to get much, again, off of this Colorado defense if there's just dribbling out in front. That ball's got to move.
Underneath that time to Masagayo, and we've got a whole new ball game here early on in the third quarter. Gray had to kick it out. Oklahoma State's really had a hard time turning the corner on Colorado in this game one-on-one. Hurd on the step back. It's short. Rebound by Utah.
Good job of Walker right there going behind that screen. Staley Hurd's made a couple trays today, but like Wooten, I think you want to protect drive first.
Knacker Lane on the give and go. Cut off. Top really has her trapped, and she steps on the baseline.
Well, it feels more like the same.
Yeah, a very similar feel so far. Colorado, who we mentioned, they've struggled from the field this year, and in particular from 3. They've only taken 3 threes, made one of them. But the Buffs are shooting better than 50% from the field. When they've protected the ball, they've been efficient. Here's an offensive foul and a turnover.
Is that a cot? That's a cot. That's 3.
Yep. Akot only played 12 minutes so far, and 2 of those have been in this half, so only about 10 minutes in the first half of play, and she'll have to go to the bench again. Here's Jaden Wooten.
Well, sorry, I was going to say both benches, J.R. Payne and J.C. Hoyt, had multiple key players with 2 fouls going into halftime.
Wooten lets a 3-pointer fly. It's short, but an offensive rebound, and the putback goes. Colorado leads.
Masagayo, great job pursuing the basketball off the miss of that 3-pointer.
Whiting called for a travel as she tried to gather the basketball.
Well, Colorado, we talked about how can you score in different ways outside of your half-court offense. There's an offensive rebound and putback from Masagayo. We saw the run-through on the initial offensive possession from Oklahoma State from Utah. That's piecing it together offensively for Colorado.
There's another bucket for the Buffs. Desiree Wooten from the baseline.
Now, Wooten, one of those players for Colorado that has 2 fouls.
Staley Hurd got aggressive that time, right to the rack. It'll allow Cowgirl fans to sit down who have been standing for more than 3 minutes to start the third quarter, as is tradition. They're on their feet till the Cowgirls get a bucket in the half. There's another offensive rebound. Utah. Kick out. Open 3. Short. Utah dives for that one. And then over the top of it goes Micah Gray. It's a jump ball that'll stay with Colorado.
Boy, they just pursue and are relentless on the offensive glass. Oklahoma State, for the most part, they're on this possession, Adam, they're turning and trying to find bodies and block off, but it's so difficult, especially shots that come from long range, because you have to go find your offensive player further away from the basket. Colorado just continues to attack that offensive end.
Inside, Masagayo couldn't finish through traffic. Loose rebound picked up by Colorado initially, then stolen away and thrown out of bounds. It'll stay with the Buffs. But really, this whole half has been kind of powered by Anael Dutas. She had 2 rebounds in the first half, 4 already here in the second half, including a few O-boards. She had to run through steal in the bucket to get things started as well.
Yeah, they did a good job, Oklahoma State, of keeping her off the offensive glass. But she's still so active. Sometimes she won't get credit for the board, but does a good job of keeping that ball, that possession alive.
That's off the mark, and Egarevba goes up and gets it with 2 hands this time. Pitch ahead to Jaden Wooten. Whiting off balance, left it short. A little hesitation there after the catch for Amari Whiting. Not something we saw from her much in the first half. Benson couldn't hit that one. Eventually taken in by Whiting for the Cowgirls. The Buffs have missed their last 5 field goal attempts. Yet they're on a 10-0 run here, it would appear. Going back to the first half. And that can't be right. They're up 8-2 in this quarter, though. They did have a 10-0 run at one point in the first half. Oklahoma State, though, just 1 for 6 in the third quarter so far. J.C. Hoyt trying to figure out how to get this offense flowing a little bit better.
I think their officials saying blood maybe on Staley Hurd's jersey.
Oh, shouldn't tell you how physical this game's been. We've had a couple of breaks for blood. Cowgirls were up 4 at the break, now down 2 with the basketball. Hurd pitched it back to Wooten, almost turned it over. Micah Gray catch and shoot for the lead. Yes.
See, that's the vision of Wooten. Doesn't seem like much, but her eyes are always up. Colorado, a rare time where they weren't matched up in good defensive position. There was space for Gray. Wooten able to find it.
Desiree Wooten off the mark for Colorado. Betts in the O board. Already a smattering of offensive rebounds in the second half for Colorado. There's a foul. It'll stay on that end. Egarevba picks up her third.
See right there, Dutas just a little bit off of Gray. Cowgirls getting ready to set something up, but you don't need it. Wooten, again, vision, timing with their passes, gives Oklahoma State the lead here in Stillwater. Colorado's done a great job. They're so good on the offensive glass. Let's get underneath that bounce play. Right there, good screen. Who is that right there? Crook?
Crook, yep.
Yeah.
Her first points.
Great job out of the timeout. But Colorado going to send 3 really good offensive rebounders to the glass.
That one's short out of the hand of Gray.
And then they send a couple guards back. And then they're bigs. They're 3 through 5, Adam. I mean, when that ball changes hand, they sprint back. And those guards that get back buy them time with communication, protecting the basket, stopping the ball.
Desiree Wooten had it stripped out of bounds. It'll stay with Colorado.
So, and that is very hard to do. You send that many people to the glass, but still able to get back in transition. So it's not just, off the turnovers where they've been able to limit Oklahoma State out of the fast break. It's even when Oklahoma State has secured that defensive rebound. And they've been terrific.
5 seconds to shoot for Walker. 2 seconds. Well defended by Hurd. It's off the mark. Jaden Wooten with the board and draws the foul, and that's 3 on Desiree Wooten, who, remember, missed time in the first half with foul trouble.
Yeah, excellent defensive possession right there from Oklahoma State. The entire possession. It's one thing to defend well and have good first defense, but secure that defensive rebound. Wooten did a great job of being physical. Wooten of Oklahoma State.
This game still continues to be played the way Colorado would like to see it played. A lower scoring affair. There's Kemmer for 3. It's short. Whiting tracks down the long rebound. The Buffs score about 70 a game. The Cowgirls have averaged just shy of 90 per contest. They're going to fall well short of that today unless something changes pretty drastically. Hurd on the drive. Can't make the layup, excuse me. Colorado still by 1. That's a problem for Colorado against Baylor. Missed several point-blank opportunities that Coach Payne felt like could have changed the game, certainly. There's an offensive foul.
Yeah, I think they'll get Betson right there off the handoff. When she turned and faced up, got that hip out a little bit. But kind of, also kind of expounding what you were talking about earlier, not being able to convert off turnovers. I mean, there's been a lot of these offensive turnovers. You don't love it if you're Coach Payne, but much better than a live ball turnover. Allowing Oklahoma State to run.
Blocking foul call. Hurd finishes. They count the basket. If that's on Desiree Wooten, that's 4.
More touches to her. I mean, if she is back, so to speak, get her the basketball in different spots. She can have it in her hands out front. You've seen that a little bit using the ball screen. I've always liked it when Oklahoma State posts her when she has a size advantage.
A chance for the and 1 free throw. Staley Hurd with a Baker's dozen here late in the third quarter.
And you can post Hurd, number 1, because she's effective. But you're basically playing 5 guards, and you've got all these shooters out in the perimeter for Oklahoma State. So you have to extend out on them, which potentially leaves Hurd isolated inside like that last possession.
Three-pointer, too strong. Wooten brings down the rebound. Each team with 20 boards now. Colorado had 10 the whole first half. They've got 10 here in the third quarter. Three-pointer on the way. It's good for Micah Gray. First bit of real energy in the building here for the Cowgirl faithful. A drive to the baseline. The freshman Gooden turned away. Inside, a foul, and 1 for Colorado. Cowgirl crowd had gotten into it, and that will calm things down a little.
Nice job of Timmer. Not able to turn the corner, but she drives, forces help. Great, good read right there. And this is a really nice answer. Like you said, Oklahoma State crowd a little bit into it here. And good teams, they come right back at you and try to get something moving towards the rim. That's a really important answer for Colorado on that possession.
First points of the game for Greer. She had 3 assists. Did the freshman in the first half, and that gets it right back to a 2-point contest. Still, neither team has been able to make this a 3-possession game. Late in the third quarter, there's Wooten who was able to get to the rim that time. Seconds to play in the third. Drive from Masagayo. She's fouled and will go to the line. That's back-to-back fouls on Micah Gray. Her first 2 of the ball game.
And both teams playing intelligent offensive basketball right now. Well, trying to find some cracks in the defenses. Wooten able to get it to the rim. A rare lay-in for her offensively for Oklahoma State. And then once again, Colorado, I mean, they're so well coached. I mean, they know if you're going to answer, the key is to try to get it to the paint somehow. And J.R. Payne's team has done that in back-to-back possessions.
The Buffs plus 10 in paint points today, 26-16. Sagado, a 74% shooter on the year, makes both. She's 4 for 4 at the foul line today. 2-point game again. Staley Hurd 5 for 9 from the field. Find a way to get her the basketball in a favorable position again. Gray Couldn't turn the corner. Inside to Hurd. Pump fake through contact. Can't finish. Dutal had the rebound. Has to save it back in. And Colorado collects. Casey Hoyt wanted a foul on that last play. Didn't get it.
Yeah, a lot of contact right there, for sure. But this has been a physical game at both ends. The officials have let these two teams play for the most part.
I still think if you can get Staley Hurd the ball in that position, you'll do that every time. Well contested jumper. It didn't matter for Logan Greer. 5 straight for her. Pitch ahead to Gray. Spinning to the basket. Can't finish. Shot clock is off in a tie game. The Buffs can take the lead through 3. Gooden lobs it underneath. And it's ripped down by Oklahoma State, but a jump ball called. They say dual possession as Timmer went up with one hand. The possession arrow favors Oklahoma State, though, I believe. Nobody's moving down this way.
Yeah, the game is picked up pace-wise right there. And I thought Timmer did a really nice job. Greer's pretty deep. Turnaround and fronts right there. Great effort by Timmer defensively to give Oklahoma State the final possession of this third quarter.
9 seconds for Oklahoma State. Hurd comes to get the ball. 6 to shoot. Cowgirls need to move. Gray with the screen. Hurd lets it fly. It's too strong. And through 3 quarters, we are tied in Stillwater. Still has not been more than a 2-possession game. All knotted up at 42. 10 more minutes.
Yeah, this is obviously a very, very physical game. Both ends of the floor. And I think Colorado being able to keep Oklahoma State off the line in that third quarter, as you were alluding to, Adam, was one of the biggest things.
10 seconds on the shot clock. There's been a lot of long possessions for both teams in this game. Open look. Walker lets it fly and spins it in. Just the second 3-point make of the game for Colorado.
Well, a big bucket right there from Walker. Talked about her experience. K-State transfer. She understands what this game means.
Akot had a wide open look off the feed from Wooten and missed it.
Yeah, that's about 3 bunnies here recently. You had the one from Hurd where there was contact. Gray missed one in transition, and then Akot right there.
In a game this close, you can't afford to miss too many of those. But Colorado returns the favor on the other end. That one was a little more contested.
J.C. Hoyt does have Akot back in there for Oklahoma State. Those 3 fouls. She has not played her normal minutes here this afternoon because she's been battling that foul trouble. Has not been able to get into any rhythm.
Be a game changer if they can get her going. Gray steps back to tie it. Got it!
Boy, another big 3 right there from Micah Gray. That was pretty well contested and defended, but Gray just rises over the top to knock it down.
Her 4th-3 of the contest compared to 2 total for Colorado as a whole.
She's been playing really well offensively. Did not have a great game at TCU, but heading into that, she really had put together an impressive run in terms of scoring over about 6 games.
One thing that makes Oklahoma State so dangerous is anybody can go off anytime. Gray off the mark this time, but Staley Hurd, who's had a big game, comes back for it. Her shot is blocked. Rebounded by Colorado.
I'll tell you what, they recover and contest everything. I'll tell you what, though, I like not setting a ball screen right there from Wooten, because she can take even really good one-on-one defenders off the bounce. They got a nice look from 3-point range. I like that much better going away from the ball screen right there.
Again, the shot clock at single digits. And a foul on Jaden Wooten will bail out the Buffs here with 4 on the shot clock. That'll reset it to 20. Wooten picks up just her first personal by my count. Colorado on a 2-minute scoring drought after hitting that 3 to take the lead. This really feels like somebody is going to have the ball in their hands at the end of the game with a chance to win it, as close as this has been throughout. Now an offensive foul on the screen away from the ball. Masagayo picks it up, her second.
I think that's 4 on Masagayo.
If this current pace holds, it would be the lowest scoring game for both of these teams this season.
So just something to keep in mind right here as we come down the stretch. So you have Masagayo and Desiree Wooten of Colorado both with 4. The 2 bigs, if you will, for Oklahoma State, Akot and Egareva, both with 3. That's certainly helped Colorado today. Oklahoma State's had to play even smaller with those 2 being in foul trouble.
Akot almost laid on the screen. Whiting got by the defender but couldn't get it to go. Colorado in transition. Walker attacking through defenders, finishes off glass.
Boy, Whiting, such a good drive, good strong drive. Not able to convert. Oklahoma State turns it over.
That is 15 turnovers as a team now for Oklahoma State. 1 turnover above their season average.
Yeah, here's the miss right there. And so many times, Adam, when you miss a bunny, kind of like the basketball gods reward that other team. That's a pretty nifty play. Walker splitting defenders, finishing with the left hand in transition.
Credit Masagayo for getting out in a hurry. Now Wooten pokes it free away from Dutab, who's been so good from Colorado. Gray with a hand in her face, off the mark. Rebounded by Benson that time. Cowgirls retreated well in transition. Good. Sends it underneath. Wide open look for 2 for Greer.
Boy, that was an excellent 2-person play with a couple of freshmen right there. Gooden and Greer.
4 points is the largest lead of the game for Colorado, and it forces a J.C. Hoyt timeout with just under 6 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Cowgirls haven't scored in nearly 3 minutes and missed their last 4 from the field. What will Coach Hoyt draw up for the offense coming out of the timeout? Quarter against Baylor. The Bears got them for their only home loss so far this season, but got to find a way to get some rhythm offensively, and oftentimes they turn to Jade Wooten to start creating.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously, defenses in this league are much better. I mean, Colorado really good. And if you ask any coach before you play Oklahoma State, what are the keys? And invariably, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is find a way to keep them out of transition.
A long 3 is off the mark, slapped around. Akot came up with the offensive rebound. Kicked out to Gray, open 3 short. O-board again for Oklahoma State. Wooten from the elbow this time. Couldn't get the roll. Akot fighting for it, zips it out to her. She'll try a 3. Goodness gracious. The effort for the Cowgirls on the offensive glass.
But show Akot right there, though, Adam. I mean, the effort. We talk about how good Colorado rebounds the ball in that offensive end. Akot is elite. Her being in foul trouble has certainly affected Oklahoma State, and that possession shows you why.
Well, that possession, will that be something we look back on and say that made a difference in the game? Staley Hurd went up for the rebound and fell down to the floor, drew a foul. That is just the 2nd team foul, it would appear, on Colorado, so no free throws yet. That'll get us to the under 5 media timeout. State's been good coming out of timeouts today, but Colorado has tended to get a bucket on the offensive end as well. So a couple of big possessions coming up here with time starting to run out in this game. Staley Hurd looking more like herself. 16 points in the contest, including that big 3 a moment ago off of a couple of offensive rebounds. But every possession, when you get to conference play, every possession is important anyway. Over these next 4 minutes and 51 seconds, that's going to be magnified.
Well, what becomes a premium is defense, and both these teams have been excellent today in their half-court defense. But you're talking about the magnification of plays. It's the turnovers. Which team takes care of it the best? probably going to end up winning the basketball game.
Hurd tried to scoop that off the glass. It wouldn't go. The Cowgirls have still not been allowed to get a fast break bucket in this contest. Colorado has done a really nice job slowing them down from that perspective. Oklahoma State's only given up 6 to their credit. Walker couldn't turn the corner. To the corner now. Three-pointer for the lead is short and rebounded by Staley Hurd. Lots of traffic. She'll give it away and get it right back.
Yeah, very good defensive possession for Oklahoma State right there.
Three-pointer off the mark from Hurd. Offensive board for the Cowgirls. A lot of traffic underneath the basket. Kick to the corner. Wooten for 3. Got it!
You know, Adam, Haley Timmer has just 4 points as Colorado turns it over right there. But she's done a lot of nice things to me today. Runs this rebound down. Timmer does, kicks it out. Gray, just solid play. Plays off 2 feet. Attacks the paint, kicks. And that was an offensive rebound right there where Oklahoma State, they got it, and then they attacked immediately because Colorado not matched up defensively, obviously, because of the offensive rebound. So essentially, you have a built-in broken floor.
5 in a row for Wooten as the Cowgirls extend the lead to 2 possessions. And Brendan, on the flip side of that, Colorado has been really good on the offensive glass all season, about 14 per game. Cowgirls have only allowed 8 offensive rebounds for Colorado in this contest. A whistle and a travel. Eves, 38%.
Well, and I mentioned coming out of the under 5 media timeout, which team takes care of it best down the stretch will most likely leave here with a win. Colorado, last 2 possessions, they've turned it over. It's not an accident now. Oklahoma State has the 4-point lead.
4 Colorado turnovers in the 4th quarter. Oklahoma State with just 1. Cowgirls have led by as many as 6. They can match that here. Caught underneath for 2. 15 to shoot. Buffs need a bucket. Masagayo, all Big 12 performer, off the mark. Lost the rebound. Timmer scoops it up. Pitch ahead to Wooten. Left it for Gray, who mishandled it. It's a scramble, and the Buffs pick it up. Cowgirls miss their chance for their first fast points of the game. Timmer knocks it away. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Colorado.
I'm telling you, I mentioned it. Timmer has been everywhere. I mean, and you alluded to it earlier. Maybe she's starting to adjust the physical nature of the Big 12. Timmer's always that threat to knock down a 3, but she's been good defensively. She's been on the glass. She's hustled. She's played with a lot of toughness. Look at her fight to get through that screen right there.
Three-pointer too strong. Offensive rebound, Colorado. We have a whistle and a tie ball. It'll stay with Colorado. And with Timmer specifically, it's not, she's played in a bunch of NCAA tournament games, so it's not as if she hasn't experienced some of that, but when you're going through it day in and day out of the Big 12, that's an adjustment.
It is different. I mean, the athleticism is different in this conference, and it's not just athleticism, it's athleticism with size and strength.
She's made many of the right plays tonight to help put the Cowgirls up 6, their largest lead of the game, with 2 minutes to go inside Gallagher Iron. 7 to shoot. Desiree Wooten from the mid-range.
Yeah, you have to be cognizant of Wooten. She tried to will her team to victory in Waco midweek. Right there, steps up. Big bucket gives Colorado life.
Jaden Wooten. We highlighted that matchup. Couldn't finish. It's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Oklahoma State. 1:23 to go. Oklahoma State has shot 1 free throw in the second half after 8 in the first half.
And one of the things that's really helped Oklahoma State too this fourth quarter, Adam, is that Cott's been available.
Yes. Cowgirls nearly throw it away, but Hurd tracks it down in the backcourt.
Colorado right here, just trust what you're best at. Your half-court defense. And sound right here, solid. Try to get a stop.
Hurd attacks, finishes, and one for Staley Hurd.
Different. He's been different the last 2 games. Not different, but back. I mean, that is strength right there. And that's one of the things of many that has made Hurd so good offensively. When having an angle, the ability to lower the head and go either direction. Found an opportunity multiple times to turn the corner left here today. This time able to absorb contact and finish.
19 points today, coming off of a 23.5 rebound performance against TCU. But what stood out to me about that one was the 3 steals. Getting locked in on that end of the floor as well. Cowgirls looking for a stop as we approach the 1 minute. Colorado needs a bucket. Dutas, who's been so good for the Buffs today. Desiree Wooten, a game changer for Colorado. Trying to get by Whiting, it's stripped away, but then Desiree gets it back. Mid-range jumper won't go. Rebounded by who else but Staley Hurd. Oklahoma State, the last time they were in this building, struggled to close it out against Baylor. Right now on a 13-2 run, trying to close out Colorado. It's been the opposite of what we saw from the Cowgirls to close out that game against Baylor, and a big step in the right direction.
Well, still a little ways to go here for J.C. Hoyt and her ball club, but Colorado forces you to play tough. They force you to match their toughness, because if you do not, I mean, they will pound you defensively and on the glass over 40 minutes. And Oklahoma State has responded here today. And they've responded, Adam, when it's mattered most here in the fourth quarter.
J.C. Hoyt with an eagle eye on that inbounds play, calls the timeout before they can get to the 5-second clock.
Oklahoma State currently on a 13-2 run over at the last 4:45, and this is that 10-0 run. A Cott giving Oklahoma State multiple shots with 2 offensive rebounds on that possession right there. There's Wooten from the corner, set up by Gray. We talked about the quick 5 points. There's the mid-range, and then right here, Wooten with the vision. Finds a Cott inside. Important for Oklahoma State that a Cott's been available this fourth quarter, and then Staley Hurd, who has been the best player on the floor here this afternoon.
Coach J.R. Payne looking on. Her squad needs a stop. Front court inbounding from the sideline. The Cowgirls going with the spread offense here. Into Gray. A lot of traffic. A whistle. We have a foul. Goes against Zayana Walker. It's her 3rd. Team's 5th. It'll be free throws for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State shooting just 35% from the field in this fourth quarter, but 38% from 3. And they've turned the ball over only twice, forcing 4. Also assisted on 5 of their 6 makes here in the fourth quarter as Gray hits the first free throw of 2. Timeout on the floor after the Cowgirls make.
Reason being the way with which they would win today.
We wondered at about the 5.5-minute mark with those couple of offensive rebounds and Hurd hit the three if that would make the difference. That's what sparked what is now a 15-2 run since that time frame. Desiree Wooten zips it underneath. Wide open look for Logan Greer. She's got 9, all of them in the second half.
They just lack a little bit of offensive punch in the half court. They run great stuff.
Jaden Wooten's pass is deflected. Micah Gray picks it up, draws a foul. It'll be 2 free throws here for Oklahoma State. Logan Greer picks up her second personal foul by my count. Oklahoma State, after turning the ball over 14 times through 3 quarters, has only turned it over twice here in the second. Cowgirls able to manage their foul trouble a little bit. Akot missed some time in the first half, but still at 3 fouls as Gray hits the first personal. And that's another thing that we saw Oklahoma State deal with the last time they played at home against Baylor. A lot of foul trouble. They had to manage their way through that, and they seemingly have handled that a little bit better today, although it's been in a different position. Colorado has to go quickly off the miss. Greer on the way, buries it. No more timeouts left for Colorado. There's a foul, and it sends Staley Hurd to the line with 8 seconds to go in a 5-point game. I'll tell you what, you mentioned this earlier. Coach Payne, coming out of timeouts, Colorado has executed really well offensively.
Yeah, and they won't go away. I mean, all you had to do is watch their game in Waco the other day. The Bears, who have been playing really well. You think about what Baylor has done. Coming to Stillwater and win. They go to Ames and win. And they couldn't shake Colorado the other day.
Back-to-back 20-plus point games for Staley Hurd. Colorado able to get one more shot up, but Akot gets the rebound. And Oklahoma State gets it done, trailing 49-45 with about 5.5 minutes to go. A big-time effort play.